So AJ, a lot of reconstruction with your group, new guys, moving guys around. So just give us a synopsis on what the D lines look like.
Look really good. I mean, really consistent. Guys fitting in their roles, have multiple different body types, so it's been good to kind of fool around with the 3 or 4 guys that are out there. But this group is different because their mentality's fixed on working and trying to be physical, and they're all competing for those spots that are up for grabs. So it's been fun to coach this group.
Neil said the other day that while you don't have a Dante Stills, you have more depth. He felt quality depth. So,
absolutely. I kind of feel like it was when I was a kid when the Jets let go of Keyshawn Johnson and and had took over Wayne Corbett, and Keyshawn said he was a flashlight. And, I think we have 9 or 10 flashlights that's going to, turn into a superstar.
Would you say with this group the sum is greater than the parts?
Absolutely. We don't have the Dante Stills eraser, but, we have a bunch of good players, a bunch of guys that run around and do their thing, and where the splash plays might not be there, but, we'll make all the routine plays we're supposed to make.
So you go about it and maybe take your guys and say, okay, give me 5 plays, give me 6 plays or whatever, and kind of break it down like that?
Absolutely. What's the guy's name from the Miracle, Herb Brooks? I got my lines, We'll be running in and out, baby.
Running in and out?
There's been conversation about Sean Martin maybe stepping up into the leadership role. Coach Brown's talked about that a lot. Whether it be him or even somebody else, why do you feel they can be that next star, can fill maybe Stills if even possible, and be that leader on the field? Like, what about them?
Well, number one, I think it starts with what we put on tape last year, right? Those guys know it wasn't good enough. We're not proud of what we put on product-wise last year, so I think they're hungry to prove that they are good, capable football players, number one. And I think with, the combination of losing 3 starters, I think the competition's there for guys who want to take over the roles, so they're all making each other better by competing against each other.
What have you seen out of the tackles? I think early on in fall, Neil said it's really important for Lockhart, Hammond, and Torma to, really come on.
Yeah, number one, start with Mike. Mike's finally in shape. He came, after spring ball when he transferred in and didn't get a full cycle of training, was in the portal for a long time. So Mike's in shape, and I think he's turning to what he's capable of. Hammond Russell's healthy, ready to go. So, he's pushing to get on the field. He's had a year of injuries and ups and downs. And then Fatorma Moba's getting a chance to go against his old school. So I think the competition, again, is there, and the hunger's there, and the motivation's definitely there to prove themselves.
You guys aren't incredibly big. How does a smaller D-line have to be effective?
Got to be technicians, and it's a little bit of guerrilla warfare,
As someone who's been associated with Penn State before, how have you told the guys anything about it, or what do you tell them about the first game?
No, I've told them, I always talk about matchups in college football and being a chance to be a part of something special. Like, I've been in it for 12 years now. I've never coached a game on NBC at nighttime. And I told them, there's probably no better place to go on the road and be motivated to go to Beaver Stadium at night for a game. So I told them, it'll be special. You never forget that moment. But I said, go up there and make it a really good moment,
I'll ask you, who's been your most consistent guy?
Eddie V. He's
just a reliable guy, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's just a technician. He takes coaching really well, and he's able to just, it's unbelievable. You coach something, you dictate it to him, and he's able to go out there and do it at a teach tape level all the time. And the kid's got the most relentless motive anybody ever coached.
Other defensive tackles behind him, what's it look like?
Jalen Thornton stepped up and done well. Mike Lockhart's done really well. He's come along. Young guy, Corey McIntyre's flashed. He's a legacy. I love legacies. So those guys got a mixture in there making plays.
Day Hawkins, what's he?
He's been great too. He's kind of my vocal guy. He's my spark plug. He's my juice guy. He's been great. He's been around college football a long time. He's had his bumps and bruises in the game, so he's been also that voice of reason. He's like, I always kid like me and him are the same age because he's an old soul.
Game week, these guys in here a whole lot about Penn State's running ability, the offensive line, and the like. What are you going to learn from that? I guess you'll find out a lot about your team.
Find out a lot about our group for sure against that O-line and those running backs too. But I think we're right up there, O-line and running backs every day in practice. We got a stable of backs here, and we've got O-line that's got a ton of starts. So we see it every day in practice.
With the goal of rotating so many different guys in, I think the next step is you got to plan for what you're going against, knowing that your players have different strengths against different things. Does that change your rotation plans from week to week, workload, things like that? And do you see that continuing to change through the season?
Yeah, it'll change a little bit. I mean, also, the parts of the playbook will be different for each guys as well. So, me and Coach Leslie have a good idea what guys can do what well, and we'll go from there.
You've had some injuries in the defensive end room, so what's the development there? How's that working out?
It's going good. I mean, obviously, Asani will be ready at some point this season. He's a young, bright star, but Dede Hawkins has done a great job. Torres Simmons has had a great camp. Looking for him to take the next step as a guy that's played a little bit but hadn't really had a role. So it's been good.
Does it hurt Sean that he's been a little bit limited?
Yeah, but he's been playing for so long that I think he'll be fine.
Hey, Jay, can I just fact check stuff real quick? Hawkins is an end now?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Lockhart's a tackler or nose?
A little bit of both. I mean, it depends on what we're doing, but, I mean, yeah, you can see the nose, really.
Have you, I don't think we've talked to you since the beginning. Naturally, players do move around and coaches see different things. Have you been able to, like a Hawkins, or have there people you've said this guy's maybe better here, or he can handle both? Does anything like that happen beyond those guys?
Oh, yeah. Dede is a guy who pretty much knows the whole playbook, so he's able to play multiple roles. Very versatile kid. Sean Martin's very versatile. He could play inside and outside. Eddie Vesterina could play nose and line up at tackle. I mean, I got a bunch of guys that could do a lot of things within the playbook.
Factor that into, I know like Eddie might be one guy, but would he count as two in your combinations to get to 9, 10, 11 people?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
If you're going to roll out lines, you probably have to have newcomers, or maybe, I mean, maybe even freshmen, I'm not sure, but are there a number of people who between now and, let's say, next Saturday, they have to make that leap so you can actually get 8
Oh, yeah.
10 people?
Hopefully the scrimmage day is moving day, and I kind of can get that 9 locked in.
Anybody looking at it?
I want to see more of Zyke Lawton. I'm going to throw young Corey McIntyre into the mix there. Zachariah Keith, another young guy, throw into the mix there, see what he can do. Then again, I want to see Torres Simmons continue that consistency and see what he can do in the live scrimmage again.
When you bring in backups in, is it necessarily all three guys or multiple guys at once, or is it one at a time makes a match so you kind of give people different looks?
Oh, no, it'll be mixing and matching, baby. We'll have all different types of permutations. I'm going to keep you all on your toes up there.
I mean, that's an advantage, though, right? In a sense that, you have that type of depth and so many guys throwing it.
Absolutely, and my guys embrace it. I mean, they like it.
Without Dante, how do you see the pass rush this week?
We'll have to build it, we'll have to scheme some things up, we'll have to use some different guys in some situations, and we still have really good rushers. I mean, Tyron Bradley kid's a great rusher. Jared Bartlett's a great rusher. We'll get him back consistent and healthy this year too, so we'll be just fine in the pass rush game.
Do you see any guys that, probably won't be at Dante's level, but they can provide that kind of push inside like you did?
Absolutely. I think Eddie will get some more shots at those rush downs, and then Sean Martin moving into a full-time role will get more of those rush downs he didn't get last year too.
Tomwa, what do you think of him, and can you pronounce his name for us?
Tomiwa Durajaye.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I was practicing that last night in the mirror. He's been great. He's been a spark plug. Now, he's a young guy. He'll be a redshirt freshman, but he's got some power in his hands. He's very smart. He's explosive. He knows the game, and he's another guy I want to see Saturday scrimmage and be consistent. But he's had a good camp. He's had a good camp. He's more of an end. I might put him at nose too. Combinations, baby.
You mentioned how experienced the O-line is here. How much does that help when you're kind of breaking in a bunch of new defensive linemen?
It's great. First off, you get to compete, right? There's a lot of good talk about our offensive line, so those guys are out there. Zach Frazier's an amazing player, so for a young or up-and-coming nose guard, you get to go against, I think, the best center in the country every day. So, sometimes you're just trying to get even with him because he's so good, but the days those guys win, I mean, you got to think like, I beat a really good center. Or the days you got your tail kicked, I mean, that's what you're working towards. So it's been great. Doug Nessers has a lot of snaps. Tomas took over a starting role. Wyatt Milam's great. I mean, all our guys are getting great work every day.
It's going to make you happy after Saturday scrimmage.
Consistency, physicality, and guys running to the ball.
Have you seen that
I haven't pulled my hamstring yet, chase anybody across the field, so it's been a good camp.
Okay, any other questions for Coach Jackson?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys.